So I'm watching last night Deshaun Watson, who I said when he came out in the draft, not Mitch Trubisky, I said I'd take Deshaun Watson as the first quarterback. I didn't think he was as gifted maybe as an Andrew Luck, not as physically gifted as a Cam, but I said that's the best quarterback I've seen in college. He should have beaten Nick Saban twice. Saban had 6 weeks. He's great. And I'm watching him last night, and he just had another terrific night. They've won 8 straight. I know we fall in love with 2-game winning streaks for Baker Mayfield. A lot of average guys have had 2-game winning streaks. He's on an 8-gamer, terrific player, 19 of 24, a couple of touchdowns, can move, had a running game, and I'm really happy for him because he's also, I've been told, a great kid. But I was thinking about this. The NFL football is so much bigger than anything else in America. It's 4 times as popular as college football. I mean, the regular season games get 9 to 10 times what an NBA game does, 15 times what a baseball game does. It's the biggest sport in the country. And there's one position that matters more than any, quarterback, and we know that. These are $3 billion teams, $5 billion teams. Cowboys may be a $10 billion team. So think about that. This is the biggest sport in America by a mile. Quarterback is the number 1 position by a mile. And all these experts and all these college teams and all these scouts, how many teams in the NFL drive to work? How many owners, how many coaches, how many GMs drive to work in the entire NFL and think, for the next decade, we have a star quarterback? I think you'd be shocked to see how lucky Houston is. Now think about this. Let's eliminate 5 guys right off the top. They're all great, but they're not going to be here in a decade. Brady, Breeze, Rodgers, Ben, Phillip Rivers. They're great. Let's take those 5 out. They're not going to be here in 10 years. All those teams, outside of maybe Green Bay, are all thinking of drafting a quarterback next year. And Green Bay, Aaron's going to be 35 in December. They're going to be drafting a quarterback in 3 years. So take those 5 out. They won't here. Let's take out the next 5, all the rookie quarterbacks. So let's take out Mayfield, Darnold, Rosen, Allen, Jackson. Don't freak out, Baker Mayfield fans. RG3 had a great rookie year. Vince Young had a great rookie year. You don't know because you beat Atlanta and Cincinnati? You don't know. Let's take out the rookies. You don't know based on 8, 9 NFL games. Let's take out another 5 guys who, let's just be honest, they're incredibly limited. Bortles, Dalton, Keenum, Eli, and Tannehill. They can win games. Eli's got some Super Bowls. They're now very limited quarterbacks. So we've taken out 15. Let's take out, these are the hard guys to take out. These are guys that are talented, but there's limitations. Stafford, Flacco, Alex Smith, Dak, Kirk, Derek Carr, Mariota, Jameis Winston. Come on, Mariota fans. He had 3 passes over 10 yards. He runs too much. He's hurt often. Now, I like Derek Carr a lot, but he may get traded in a year. Oakland doesn't love him as much as I do. And you know what you're left with? Now think about this again. This is the biggest sport, the most important position. What people give up 6, 7 picks to get the quarterback right. And here's what you are left with in the NFL. You are left with 10 quarterbacks, just a third of the league, that every owner, GM, and coach drives to work knowing we've got our guy for 10 years. Jared Goff, Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Carson Wentz, Jimmy G, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, and Trubisky. Now, I like Carr more than Trubisky, but I think people in Chicago are all in on Trubisky. I don't think people in Oakland are all in on Derek Carr, though I prefer him. Just when I'm watching last night, I'm watching Deshaun Watson. I'm thinking, man, Houston, you are in much more rarefied air than you realize. Only 10 teams in this league that for the next decade have their guy at the most important position, and they think we can win a Super Bowl. And outside of Trubisky, who I'd put in the good but limited, and Carr, who I would put in the franchise quarterback next 10 years, that's it. I could maybe add Derek Carr. It is. You want to know why teams give up 7 picks? Deshaun Watson, how good do you feel in Houston? 8-game winning streak. By the way, what makes these guys special, and Jimmy G, what about Jimmy G? You want to know what Kyle Shanahan is in San Francisco without Jimmy G? 2-17. He's got a winning record with Jimmy G. Hold off your cynicism, okay? It is. I was just happy for Houston. I was happy for Deshaun because the NFL's better when I know 10 years, check, I got my guy. It's remarkable how few do. Let me shift to this. We all want to be, I'm not going to speak for Joy, but I think she probably thinks the same way we all want to be not our parents, right? We all want to be a little smarter than our parents, a little cooler than our parents, a little more successful than our parents, a little hipper than our parents. Sometimes we get around to kids and we kind of like roll our eyes at our parents. We love them. But we look at our parents and we're like, oh, I'm not going to become dad. Oh, I'm not going to become mom. We don't want to become our parents, right? But then all these years later, I look at myself and I'm like, man, I got a lot of my dad's qualities. I got a lot of my mom's qualities. We all become our parents. And Aaron Rodgers yesterday was talking about mortality. And I'm thinking about this. Aaron Rodgers would never want to be compared to Favre. Favre, Southern guy, rigid, stuttering, through all those picks. I'm a lot smarter than Brett Favre. And Favre never thought Aaron Rodgers was his equal. Guy went to junior college, California guy, thinks he's better than everybody. They're becoming one another. Yesterday, Aaron Rodgers talked about something that Brett Favre used to all the time on the back nine of his career, his mortality, with Favre late in his career. I'm like, dude, you're like 36 years old. Stop being stubborn and rigid. You're not a grandpa. Learn a new offense. He didn't want to learn a new offense. And I think it's interesting. Aaron's talking about graying beard. I'm on the back nine. They've become one another. Think about this. Let's go to Favre's first 10 years in the league as a Packer, and let's go to Aaron's first 10 years as a Packer. Both have a Super Bowl, multiple MVPs, 9 out of 10 winning seasons, and 6 Pro Bowls. Both have iconic arms, commercials, beloved by the fawning media. First 10 years, same guy. Maybe one's from the South, one's from the West, same guy. But remember how Brett Favre's career ended. And couldn't I make an argument? This is sort of how Aaron's will end. How did Favre's last 5 seasons go? Barely a 500 road quarterback, 3 teams, multiple Pro Bowls, couple division titles, never got back to a Super Bowl. And oh, by the way, kind of flaky. Remember, Favre, I'm going to retire, I'm not going to retire, I'm going to retire, I'm not going to retire, kind of held the team hostage. And oh, by the way, there were a couple of quarterbacks emerging, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, who looked better. When I look at Aaron Rodgers down the stretch, I think he's going to make Pro Bowls. I think he's going to win a couple division titles. I'm not sure he's going to get back to the Super Bowl. And he's becoming a little like Favre, whereas your fault, your fault, your fault, your fault, coach out, Ty Montgomery out, defense problem. We never want to become our parents. We all do. Aaron Rodgers' first 10 years are identical to Favre's. Will his last 7 be? I will say this. People always say their big difference is Favre threw a lot of picks, Aaron doesn't. But even that's linked. Favre never got hurt because he got rid of the ball early, thus creating often interceptions. Aaron's hurt a lot because he holds on to the ball too long, because he doesn't want to throw interceptions. Even on that, they're linked. And just never forget how it ended for Brett Favre. Paul Allen, my favorite radio call ever. It is interesting, though. What we try to avoid, we often become. Favre and Rodgers, to me, first 10 years identical. Will the last 7 or 8 for Aaron? It does appear he'll have a new coach and a new start in about 4 months. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.